Roll right now. All right. Welcome everybody to our Discover Arbonne virtual. These are so amazing to me. I think even like 5 years ago when I started, I was like, okay, so texting was, I don't know, seriously, I must be like in the Stone Age, but I love that we are like Zooming. There are people from all over the US on right now. And tonight we have a special treat. We have Miss Holly Warnall, all the way from Arizona. She's an executive national vice president. And we'll talk more about what that even means later on. But she is going to jump on and just kind of share with you guys just another perspective. We have so many people from so many different backgrounds who join this business and change their lives in so many different ways. And so it's always fun to hear from folks who've been doing this for a while and have just been super successful. So yeah, Holly, if you'd want to jump on and just kind of share your wisdom and nuggets with us, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, you bet. And thanks for having me on. Welcome, everyone. It's so fun to see all the names popping up who's jumping on. And I know some of you I'll get to see this weekend, and I'm so excited. But for those of you that are on the call as a guest, somebody invited you or you're watching this later, I just want to just share my heart super quick. It's one of those conversations where I really wish I could be just face to face and squeeze you and just breathe life into you about what this business can do for you. So the person who invited you to take a peek is, you need to thank them, because they see this business meeting a need in your life that you might not even be able to see yet or see how it can meet your needs. So just thank them for offering you to learn more and to take a peek. Because you guys, every single one of us that are consultants on this call, that's how we started. It just was a little bit of information. We were asked to take a peek, and the more you learn, the more excited you're going to get, and how this can absolutely pivot your life. But for me, I was introduced a little over 17 years ago, and I was introduced to the products initially. It took me a few months to realize that this was something you could actually make money at. And I jumped in to make $300 a month. That was my goal at the time. I was a stay-at-home mom. And so, I don't know what your number is. I'm guessing there is a number. That's why you're looking at this. But you guys, it may be 300, it may be 1,000, it may be 3,000 a month. Whatever that is, you guys, we can show you how to do that. And it's pretty amazing that we can do that. But I wanted to share with you guys more than anything why I've stayed in for 17 and a half years. Money came, I made the money. I made more money than I ever dreamed you could make in this business. I just didn't understand it. But you guys, one of the biggest reasons I've stayed is because of the time freedom. And what I mean by that is, you guys, I have gotten to live the last 17 years. I have 3 kids that are now 21, 18, and 14. And I got to be present for all of the years they were growing up. Our summer vacations were designed exactly how we wanted them to be. We went where we wanted to go. And you guys, money is great, but having the freedom to choose how you spend your time is even more priceless, because I didn't miss stuff at school. I could chaperone whatever I wanted to chaperone. I didn't miss all their little awards they got at school in the middle of the day. I got to go up and eat lunch with them at school. Now I get to go travel my 2 in college. I get to go see them. So you guys, the money a lot of times is the reason we get into this business. It's that for you, absolutely hands down. But I really, really want you guys to understand and get a sense of what time freedom can do for your life and for your future and for your family. Because that, my friend, is truly priceless. And you can't get back time. We only spend it. So if you don't get to spend time the way exactly how you want to, let that be a really big reason why you take a good look at this business, because it can give you moments and experiences and memories that money can't sometimes, but time can. So anyways, Lisa, pass it back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Holly. And yeah, wow. I think to think about that. And I think as you are, listening tonight, or on the recording, just lean in, lean in and just kind of open your mind, open your heart. I think we get so used to what work looks like, and what kind of like dollar per hour looks like, that just imagine for a second, like what Holly said, like imagine you could have both. Imagine that you could have both. And finances, to do the things that you need to do and want to do. And I'll kind of weave my story in throughout, because that was, who doesn't want both of those things? And we were in a spot where we had one, but not the other, like most people are. And then Arbonne came across my plate. I had actually heard of the products, through a friend years back, but I didn't know that there was this business attached to it. So I knew about the products. I knew that my skin felt different when I used them. I didn't know why. But then I got lazy and I was like, oh, I have to order them online. Like I said, I'm like, I don't know what, I was internet impaired or something. And so I just went back to my old standby, and, but then it kept popping in, this Arbonne thing, but I had no idea what this company actually is or was. We're actually almost a 40-year-old company. We were started in 1980, which is amazing to think about, especially with network marketing. I mean, now I think most of the people, either someone who is working a network marketing business or involved in one, or you've been asked by someone, to take a look. And so it's so much more common now than it was back in 1980 when our visionary of a founder started this company. So he really wanted to combine a number of things. He wanted there to be safer products for people to have, because he knew how important that was and how difficult they were to find. And then he also wanted to put them in a model. He wanted a way to have people, primarily women at the beginning, be able to create something where they could do what they wanted to do in terms of, they could stay home if they wanted to, or they could, kind of work it around their family life, but then also create this income. And he knew that there was a way to do that and have folks create a really large income and have the time. And so, and he knew that when you do that, when you, and again, primarily women at the beginning, when you create women who are, have the funds to do things, you change the world. And so that's really what this has done. So this founder 40 years ago, almost 40 years ago, Peter Moore, he started with these amazing ingredients. And so this ingredient philosophy. And this is, I know it can kind of get a little boring, but it's super important. I was blown away when I heard this. So I'm a dietitian by trade. That was my background. And I thought I knew all there was to know about the body and chemicals and all those things. But when I heard that what you put on your skin, in about 30 seconds, about 60% of it is absorbed into your bloodstream. I was pregnant at the time. And I was like, no one ever told me that, or maybe I didn't listen. And then I was like, wait, maybe I didn't want to hear that, because now, I got to like do some different stuff. And I didn't feel like doing that, but the information was pretty compelling and I wanted to not believe it. But then it was a nurse who actually, who was sharing this information. And then when I thought about it, like, like a patch, like that's a delivery system. You put it on your skin, it's absorbed. Our skin is our largest organ and it's kind of passive, And so that like right away clicked in my mind. I'm like, all right, so these products, great, it's an easy button. Looks like there's a lot, to choose from, not just skincare. Turns out there's over 300 products that we have, and really just stuff you're using anyway. So I'm like, okay, great. I can start swapping things out. Then when I started hearing more about like what this business is, it just more things started like clicking for me about it. And the next one really is the consumability of this. And so with these products, being stuff we use every day, we already had a budget for it in our family. Most people do. They're basically, do you wash your hair? Do you wash your face? Do you eat? Do you, drink coffee? Do you, whatever. Then you're using these products. And what happens, you use them and then you use them up. You run out of them. And you go buy them again. So that's consumable. And that just like totally made sense to me, that I was like, well, yeah, I've been buying shampoo and conditioner and skincare for, on a regular basis for years. And a lot of people I know have also been doing that. And turns out it hasn't been the best products for me. I want to change that out. I bet other people would want to also if they knew this information. So you guys, that's really what we do with Arbonne. It is that simple. It is really just kind of taking, what we're doing, swapping it out for healthier products, and shopping online whenever we want to. And as a consumer, that is so convenient, because I have clients who have, 5 years ago when I started, they were like, yeah, I understand this. And yeah, it's easy for me to just order online whenever I have time, at work or, at night, whatever. And then what happens with that is, because I educated them, because I shared the value of these healthier products with them, Arbonne says thanks. And so I get a commission from that, sort of like, I get, you guys are familiar with that. Like if you, are at a certain store where there's commission, they help you, they get a commission check. But this is kind of limitless. This isn't within the confines of a building, at a store. This is, I'm just out talking to folks, or, people ask, we do it all the time. Like, where'd you get your shoes? Where'd you get your earrings? What movie have you seen last? And those, if you recommend and say, oh, I got them at Nordstrom, or I got them at whatever, they're not going to cut you a check for your word of mouth. But it turns out word of mouth advertising is like absolutely golden, especially women. And that is why I think you're seeing more and more people are looking at bloggers and Instagram to see, what are people actually using? I don't want to pay extra for some model that's not even using the product. People are like, what is she doing? What's going on with that? And that is how a lot of this business is moving right now. Sitting with people one-on-one and talking with them, having a few people over and experiencing the product, hearing, the bigger picture of Arbonne, but then also just even living your life, because these are products that you use every single day, multiple times a day. It's just really natural to share that in lots of different platforms. And so that's been super fun to see Arbonne growing in that area and see what people are doing with that. It's huge. And so when looking at network marketing companies, so kind of back to that, like what makes us different? What makes Arbonne different than all of these network marketing companies that you're kind of hearing right now? What is huge with us is that, first of all, we've got that 38-year-old heritage, which is huge, so huge. So many companies start because it's such a great business model, but then just aren't able to sustain the growth. So with Arbonne, that heritage that we have, but then also with us, we are the #1 brand globally for healthy living inside and out. That is huge. Basically what that means is that we have balanced business with skincare and nutrition. So we're not like primarily a skincare company that threw some nutrition in because that's what's trendy, or a nutrition company that's like, oh shoot, we want to, really corner the market, and so we better quick formulate, some skincare. No, we have both, and we have had both for a very long time. And again, you guys, the ingredient formula that we abide to or adhere to, we adhere to the European Union for our ingredient philosophy. So what that means is there's about 1,500 chemicals that the European Union has banned. They've found to be not great, or even a little iffy. Like, even if it's like, well, we're not sure, we're going to keep it out until we absolutely know. In the US, it works the opposite. It's like, it's probably okay. We'll maybe get around to testing it. And if it's bad, then we'll pull it out. And it might take us 10 years to do that, but it's fine. So it's totally the opposite. In the US, the FDA has banned about 10 ingredients in personal care. So huge, huge, huge difference. And Arbonne has gone above and beyond that and banned another 500. So we have about 2,000 chemicals that we have banned. And so when you think of all those things stacking up, that we're consumable products, that we are online. You don't carry products as a consultant. You don't have to go get products from your consultant as a client. The ingredient philosophy that spans all of our products, that is nutrition. So that's like gluten-free skincare for folks. I mean, that's mind-blowing to think of that we have had these products. It makes it so easy for us as consultants to be able to feel confident that we have something to offer folks. And it feels so great for consumers knowing that they can swap out what they're currently using to the highest level of sensitivity and know that they're going to be okay. They're going to be safe. They don't have to worry about that. So what a gift that we have with this and sharing it with people. So that's kind of like the product piece and like what we actually do. We actually just work this business in and around our lives, whether it's through social media, whether it's grabbing coffee with a friend or grabbing a drink with a friend, whether it's, having somebody jump on something. Like if you're a guest right now, like this is it. Like somebody invited you. This is how they're doing their business. They invited you to take a look. So it's so amazing all the different ways we can leverage our time. And so when Holly was talking about that time piece, like how is that? Like how are you able to have this income but have this time? Because I didn't get that at first, and I was like, well, yeah, I show up for work and then I know I get my salary. And so, but if I don't show up for work, like I've got PTO, but then when that runs out, I'm not going to get paid. So with this, how it works is you start as one person. So Holly started as one person, like she said, 17 and a half years ago. I can't believe that. And then you just start talking to people. You start using the products, you start talking to people. And then what you find is that people either want to start swapping their products out too. So you help them do that. Or people say, you know what, I want them at more of a discount. I want to have a few people together and have them hear this information and get my products for 80% off. Or they say, I want to be a preferred client and I want to get my products for 20% off all the time, sort of like a Costco membership. And then there are some things that are, it's just an amazing loyalty program that we have. Or you'll find folks saying, you know what, like I've been looking for something like this. I would love to pay down, my student loans or have none of them left, or I would love to work less, or I would love to go on a vacation when I want to, or just kind of own my time. This looks like that for me. So you'll be finding that you kind of meet these different folks wanting different things. And as you do that, talk to more people, your business grows. So then you've got people who are clients and customers, and then you've got people who are building their business. And what Arbonne does is they say thank you for teaching and training this person to do what you're doing. And then you are able to then capture some of what that person's business is because you helped grow it. And so that is how it is, a lot of people doing a little bit. And when that grows, it's just more people doing a little bit. And it's essentially on top of that, it's that reorder piece, which is huge. And so you're helping people start their own businesses, but then those clients, they're reordering what they are running out of. And so just please get with the person who asked you on this call to help clarify it even a little bit more than that. But that's essentially what this business is. It's no like crazy secret. It's just, people purchasing products through you or through someone connected to you. And that's how it grows. So what does that look like in terms of like, the money piece? I definitely needed to see that. So I was working full time as a dietitian, and I was pregnant with my son and was like, I don't want to go back to work when I have him at all. And how are we going to do that? I can't quit my job. We would have had to sell all kinds of things, or just, I don't know what. We were like, it just wasn't feasible. And so that was kind of a heartbreaking place to be, sort of like, oh my gosh, we've tried so hard for this baby, but I'm not going to like wake him up from his nap, or I'm not going to feed him lunch or change his diapers during the day. Like that was just, and now today I'm like, can somebody please do that for me? Because I've done it like 1,000 times. No, I'm kidding. It's been great. But it was like, what do we do? So when Arbonne came into the picture, I was super skeptical. I was like, I've never seen anybody make any money with this. This just seems like I'm a professional. This is beneath me. No, but then I couldn't shake the person who had brought it to me had replaced her income in 3 months. And I was like, okay, so if this worked for her, why wouldn't it work for me? Like, why not? And I found that I would be making that decision for my family without really diving in. And I honestly thought the only people who did this were people who couldn't find a job. It turns out the people who are doing this and are really successful at this are people who are super successful in their full-time whatever it is, whether they're a physician or an attorney or a teacher or a nurse or all those occupations. It's people who want to keep doing essentially what they're doing, but just get paid more for it and work when they want to work. And so those skills all transfer. So with that, I started as a consultant. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lean in, start as a consultant, start making commission right away. Then, as I mentioned before, as you keep talking to people and helping them find their fit, your business grows. And district manager is the first level of management. There's only 4, super easy. So it's awesome. There needs to be less levels of management than my fingers on my hand. Otherwise, I just can't deal. So the first level is district manager. And I got there in about 5 weeks-ish. We have a system. That's the other cool thing, you guys. You get plugged into a system. You don't have to like recreate the wheel. That's how we keep this really part-time, like 10 to 12 hours a week. That's it. And 10 to 12 hours of like a half hour here, an hour and a half there. It's not a shift. You choose when to do it. So 10 to 12 hours of work a week. So district manager is the first level, and that's about $250 to $1,000. So that could be a car payment. That could be groceries. That could be, a bill that is like, whew, okay, like, well, I can breathe a little bit. The next level of management is area manager. And so again, you're doing the same thing. You don't like get a whole new role of responsibilities at area manager. You've just done this, you've just done more, you've asked more people, you've heard no more, frankly. You've heard people say no thanks, but you keep going. And so area manager, the average is about $1,000 to $4,000 a month. And it's willable at this point. So if something were to happen to me, my husband would get my Arbonne checks, which is so mind-blowing that, you built Arbonne's basically like, it's only fair. Like, you built this, these are your customers. We just supply the product. So yes, this is yours. It's a legacy. You're building a legacy, something you can leave for generations at this point. Then the next level is regional vice president. That's the level I'm currently at. And that is about $5,000 to $15,000 a month. And with this level, then you're also, Arbonne has a cash or a Mercedes-Benz cash bonus program. And so you're able to get up to $800 a month to drive a white Mercedes-Benz. And so again, just like one more, like, thank you. Thank you for like really seeing our vision through with this. Thank you for helping these people. We're going to just say thank you in one more way. And so, there was a car payment. That's nice. And then the top level, and this is where Holly is at, this is that national vice president level. And this is about $21,000 a month average. So with this, this is really, you're able to, even with a number of those levels, you're able to kind of take a look and what do I want to change in my life? And I would ask you guys to like, think about, is there a gap right now that exists between where you are and where you'd like to be? Holly mentioned hers. She's like, I want time with my kids. Like, I want time, and I want to be able to do things in that time that might cost money, because living costs money. So, and then for me, the same. I was like, I want to stay home. I want to raise this kiddo, but we've got bills to pay, And so with this, it can be both. It can be both for you, whatever that gap is. Maybe it's a health gap. We have our 30 days to healthy living, or just the time freedom to be able to take better care of yourself, go to yoga classes, go for walks. It's just crazy what you can do with your life when you do have that time and you do have some financial freedom. So I jumped in. I was working full time. I was pregnant. This was about 5.5 years ago. And when my son was born, I decided not to go back to work. And I've been home for the last 4.5 years. And I get like, teary about that, just because it's like, I can't imagine. I was actually talking to Hannah Ammerman. She's a gal on my team, she's amazing. And she was recently able to stay home because of this. And that blows my mind. Like, I could never help people do that with my dietitian job. I couldn't help people stay home with their kids as a dietitian. I couldn't help people, retire their husbands as a dietitian. I couldn't. And with this, you can. It's such a gift to be able to share with people. And just the idea of like, I get to choose same with Holly. It's bananas. It's amazing. So, and I know we say that all the time, like, it's so great, but yes, get the specifics down too. Like, if you're like, you know what, I'm curious. I want to know more. And you really owe it to yourself to do that, to lean in, like, what if? Just keep asking yourself, what if? Because nothing changes if nothing changes. So is what you're currently doing going to get you to where you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, whatever? And if not, like, then this likely could. So, I'm sure I missed a bunch of things, but you can totally talk to the person who asked you on the call, and they'll get that info to you. And I just want to wrap this up by saying thank you for taking a look, for leaning in, for watching this, whether it's live or the recording, and just, yeah, go for it. Get your questions answered. So have a great rest of your evening or day, and hope to see you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.